All the legends say dragons sleep for a very, very long time. And yet here you are, still wide awake. Considering we did fly very, very far, and I was the one who interrupted your little slumber, you'd be more than ready to try to get some more sleep in. Or maybe you're waiting for me to fall asleep so that you can claw my heart out or torch me. But that wouldn't be it, would it? Then again, I guess I can't really blame you, given our current circumstances. But let me warn you now, Calamity. For as patient as you are, I don't think even you could be that patient. What do I mean? You're waiting for me to fall asleep. But that is something that hasn't happened for a very long time. In fact, I think it's been a little over 2 years now. I use my magics to sustain myself. I don't sleep. I barely need to eat or drink. I mean, I can't have someone poisoning my food or having some giant fire-breathing death machine torch me in my sleep, now can I? But I would recommend you get some sleep, though. As I've said, it's been a long flight to get this far. And we still got a long way to go before we even at my kingdom's borders. And then even longer still before I deal with my father. And it'd be a real shame if the great and mighty Calamity was felled due to sleep deprivation. And that would be a problem for both of us. So please, get some sleep. I'd really rather not waste the magic commanding you to do so. Or are you awake because of something else? I mean, you are under some charm, but you still very much think freely. And you still very much can speak your mind. But without you saying a word, for one reason or another, I would assume it's because you take umbrage with the situation you find yourself in, isn't it? Oh, the corners of your mouth curling into a snarl. Looks like I've finally broken through that silent complacence. I'm well aware you've been cooperating simply because you think at some point I'll lose focus. You think at some point you'll have the upper hand. But I'm sorry to say that, again, is something not even you are patient enough to wait for. However, I do find it rather hypocritical of you to be angry, resentful, hateful of me when how many nobles have you yourself and your kin as a whole kidnapped from their respective lands and then ransomed back or keep for yourselves as some symbol or decoration, or to inspire fear amongst the, as you were so fond of putting it back in your lair, lowly worms that are so far beneath you. Oh, don't look so shocked, Calamity. You think I wouldn't have learned everything I could about you before I stumbled up that mountain? Seems you forget you were a dragon long before you were ever a legend. But I guess now that the legend finds themselves on the other end of what they've been doing for who knows how long, now you have a problem with it. Your pride. Yes, I guess that does make sense. You dragons are prideful creatures. And I guess me calling you pet didn't really help much, did it? Then again, being called decoration by some of your kind probably didn't make the nobles feel too good either. And then them being used to leverage gold out of their own kingdoms probably made them feel even worse. But I'm going to be honest with you for a moment, Calamity. The whole pet master thing. There was no truth behind those words. I care not what you call me, and I don't really think of you as a pet. Yes, like I said, it was a test. Trust me, if I truly wanted to make you a pet, there are much more drastic measures that could have been employed. But I needed to test what would win out. My command or the anger of an ancient, powerful dragon. Also, what would have been the point of collaring you and calling you a pet? What would have been the point of breaking you? I mean, I know I would be heralded as the king that tamed the Calamity, but why would I bother trying? I couldn't if I had tried. Oh. And here I thought dragons didn't have a sense of humor. Oh. I bet you also never thought that you'd be in the situation you're currently in. Having this conversation either, did you? But back to my point. I may be a bastard in every sense of the word, but I draw the line at taking away a creature's true free will. I'm not cruel. And besides, what would have been the point of going all the way out to find the Calamity just to turn you into a mindless fire spitter? As a status symbol. That's the thing you don't understand, Calamity. Humans, it wouldn't matter if I rolled up blackened out the sky with the calamity, the ice wraith, the storm caller. Your name, the calamity, well, the name we've given you, definitely does carry weight. But to most people, a dragon is a dragon. Then why did I choose you? Well, like I said, you were always the one that fascinated me. You were always the one that, despite numerous attempts, no one ever came close to failing. Like I said, your name, to most, won't mean much. But to that select few who it will mean something to, well, it'll be worth seeing their faces when they truly understand what they're up against. But I digress. Thankfully, the experiment worked. So you've gone from pet to lab rat. It would appear so, haven't you? Calm yourself. It was a necessary measure. As you just demonstrated, a dragon's temper is not something to trifle with. So, I needed to make sure that if I had to, I could keep you from roasting me alive. Of course, it looks like I might need to be a bit more assertive in my command from now on. But in the end, trust me, this was by far the better option. Or maybe, would you have preferred to be the mindless beast and monsters so many already think your kind are? No, I know what you would have preferred. You would have preferred if I came to you on my hands and knees. Oh, please, Calamity. Please listen to the concerns of this lowly worm. Lend me your aid in the death of my father, in claiming the kingdom and my vengeance that is rightfully mine, and I can promise you the world. Is that what you would have preferred? Look me in my eye and tell me that you would have even considered hearing what I had to say, if that's how I had approached you. Or if I would have ended up another charred skeleton lining your lair. Your silence says it all. Granted, by the end of this, I don't know that fate still doesn't await me. But let's play with that hypothetical, since you're so upset about how our current relationship is going. Say through some stroke of luck, or your own pity, I guess, you offered me your aid. I would have never been able to trust you. Because I know better than anyone how my mind works, and there would always be this lingering thought in the back of my mind. Even if you had gleefully offered me your aid, even if you willingly bent your head in my presence, even if you, against all odds, decided you would help me, there would always be this nagging voice telling me you couldn't be trusted. At any given moment, you would turn on me, that you would break your word. In calamity, even in this hypothetical scenario, that is not a chance I would ever be willing to take. It doesn't matter if you're not some lowly, lying mortal, as you so eloquently put it. It doesn't matter that your pride as a dragon would never allow you to break your word once given. Does someone ever think their spouse will cheat on them or leave them for someone else? Does a man ever think his brother will stab him in the back? Does a son ever think his father will have his mother murdered? No, I learned a long time ago. The only words I put any faith in this world are my own. I swore on my mother's grave I would make my father pay for what he's done. I swore to the man who taught me magic, who laughed in my face when I told him that I would be bringing the calamity down on my father's kingdom, that I would prove him wrong. And I swore to you, when all is said and done, and I find myself either at the end of an assassin's blade or just too old to carry on, that you would be free to do whatever you wish, freed from my commands, my bindings, and you can do whatever you wish with whatever I leave behind. And how do you know I'll keep my word? You've seen the power of my words. But I can understand you not having the same faith in them that I do. So, the terms that have been echoing in your head since we met, pet, master, bow, those commands have been broken. Granted, you still can't just go torching me, but it is the best I can offer you at this current moment. Something small and trivial, but something I know you'll be better off for not having rattling around in your head. Anyway, as I said, you should really probably get some sleep. I'll wake you in, say, 48 hours. if you're not awake already. What of me? Well, I told you I don't need to sleep. I'm going to go for a walk. Since departing from your lair and truly thinking about what is about to happen over the next few, well, however long this is going to take, I've been doing a lot of thinking in our silence as we streaked across the sky. Some things I must think about. No, I'm not having second thoughts about my father. He and everyone responsible for my mother's death will pay dearly. But there are other things that occupy my mind. Things that soon I will have to make decisions about. Good night, Calamity. See you when you awake. Now sleep.